Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and on to another video. Today we're working on one of my own saws. This is a Stihl MS170. It's a bit of an older one. It's got the screw-on caps instead of the push and turn and breaky ones. It's a decent saw. It's my small saw, so it's just, I don't cut wood, but it's in the shed. It's my small saw. So I'm tired of the puddle of oil underneath this thing in the case. So today we're going to replace the oil line. That's what connects the tank to the rest of the oiler system. Part number on this saw is 1130-647-9400. Have your dealer look it up for your specific model of saw. That hose may not fit all of them. Well, I know it doesn't fit all of them. I know it fits this one and probably the MS180 as well. Anyways, let's get into it. I don't want this to be a whole ordeal. We're also going to replace the bar because this one's got some heat on it. This is a previously enjoyed saw that I got. It's been run dry and been pushed on, so the bar is worn out, and it's got evidence of getting overheated along the rail. So we're going to take that off, and I got another chain to put on it anyways. So let's get into it. Let's get the side off. Get our starter or bar and chain off of there. Where's my thing? There it is. Get this out of here. Oh, come on. There we go. Get these off. Nuts. Cover. Bar and chain. Rubbish. That won't be going back on. Maybe we'll give that a bit of a wipe. Honestly, the worst thing about working on chainsaws is how oily and greasy they are. They're not overly terrible in general, other than they're messy. So we have to get these buffer plugs out, because in order to remove the hose, which is in here, let me get you a shot of it. You can just see it poking out of the white case, right where my finger is. See if I can get you an angle. I'm not sure if you can. It's just coming out of the case. It goes underneath the handle here, so we got to get that handle off. These buffers are fun. 2 screwdrivers usually will do the trick. This one's too big. Let's try that one. And this one, there's little slots in these buffer caps. Put a screwdriver on each side and try and pry them evenly. Oh, no, that one's too big too. It's also not easy when the chainsaw is rolling around on the bench. That one in. That one in. Get under it. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. I didn't want to put it on my shirt. I don't have a choice. I can't hang on to the thing. Skidding all over the bench. There we go. Come on. Out with you. Let's pull the buffer out with it. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. One. Gotta hold your tongue just the right way. There's 2. That's going to get a little oil going back together, so it goes in a little easier. Come on now. Don't argue with me. Whoa, where are you going? Oh, there we go. Jeez. It's going to be the hardest part of the job. These silly things out of here. 3. Okay. My oil tank is already empty. Let's start prying this thing apart. I'm going to take this one out first. Let's go between the housing and the handle. Gently pull it. I think these are swollen all up from being in the soaked in oil constantly. Yeah, we can get it to move. It's awful stiff though. Just trying to find a spot to pry it on. See if we can give it a little help. Oh, the struggle is real. Oh, I think it moved. Well, it started to. There we go. There we go. That wasn't anything breaking. That was the chain brake going on. Well, that was not easy. But it's out. Give us a bit of a pull. See if we can get some clearance there. We're going to pry against the housing. Oh, that one was easy. And that one was easy. There we go. They've all released. I'm going to get a little bit of grease on there when I go to put it together. Now we can get the handle off the power head here. Unhook yourself while you're dumb. Okay. Let's go back about 72 gajillion steps. Got to disconnect the throttle. Yep, I forgot. So squeeze the trigger, put it all the way down to choke, take the air filter cover off. Got to take the carb box off. Yep. That's me. 8mm nuts in here. There's one. There's two. Get our airbox off. Now manually open the throttle with your finger. Now that this is all crooked, it's going to be harder to do, but should be able to just unhook that throttle arm. Let's see if I can get that back straighter. There, that might be better. Okay. It shouldn't be that much of a struggle. It was because I got ahead of myself and didn't get the arm off the way I should have. There we go. The throttle linkage is off. I'm going to take it right out of the handle, so let's lift it up and untwist it out of the trigger. You got to squeeze the trigger and you'll find the hole where that goes into. Just kind of slots in there. Get our handle off of there. That's a mess. That's going to go in the parts washer, get washed off. But now, when we flip it over, you can see that oil hose right there, which has zoomed in. That's our oil hose that we're replacing right there. So we're going to gently pry it out of the case here first. Uh-huh. That's the oil pump right in there. We got to work it out of the tank side. It's just a little grommet. There we are. And the filter should also be on the end of that line. So we give her a wiggle, move it around because the filter will come right out. Like so. There we go. Yeah, the hose is a lot more firm than the new one. The rubber's starting to deteriorate. Let's get that filter popped off of there because we're going to reuse it. Pop it on our new line. Nice and secure. You have to make sure that this goes in properly. There's a flat on that. Oh, focus. There's a flat here. And this has to be lined up so it goes directly into the pump. You don't want to have a twist in this to put it into the pump. So let's get our filter shoved back in there. Wiggler. There you go. A bit of a wiggle. And the trick is usually trying to get that grommet in there without cutting it. You got to be careful if you're going to use a screwdriver. A popsicle stick would probably be better. But I don't have one in my pocket. So let's gently, without poking a hole in it, get that thing pushed in. And just got to work at it a bit. But it will go in when it feels like it. Yeah. I'm going to shove this end in the oil pump. Keep it out of my way. Okay, maybe I won't. Why are you fighting? I know why you're fighting me. Because it's my own equipment. I don't have this much issue with customer stuff. Oh, yeah, you're not lining up either. Gently. Don't want to cut anything. Yep. This is great. There we go. That's aimed a little better. Can't see in there, so kind of going by feel, hopes and dreams. Yep. It's not going. Oh, I think it might have started. Hey, oh, that was easy. Sheesh. Oh, I didn't put any holes in it. That's good. I'm going to use my little light bulb here and check, make sure it's seated all the way in the tank. Sometimes it struggles. It's not always as easy as it looks on YouTube. So it's seated properly in the tank. It's seated mostly in the pump. Just give it a little bit more of a push to make sure it's nice and flat. There we go. There's no twist in the hose. It's nice and straight. There we are. That's that. So I got some oil off the bottom of the machine here. I'm just wiping down the buffers to make sure they got a little bit of lubrication on it so they pop the handle back in a little easier. Let's get our handle back over here. Well, you know what? We're going to pause this right here. I'm going to go wash that off of the... No, I'm not. It's my own. I don't have to be picky. Just wipe all the junk out of it with a rag. Not because it needs to be clean, but more because if you start with it dry, if it continues to leak, you know you did something wrong. Get most of that old oil out of there. That way you can monitor to see if you got any new leaks. Let's back you out. Let's fight with this thing to get it back on. Let's get our power head back in there. Get our buffers at least part way lined up, maybe. Yeah, right. Come on, you vile thing. Okay. This one's starting to move. Just using the screwdriver on the outside to try and assist it to go through, pop it into the hole. And it's not working. There, oh, one's in. This one's lined up. That one's in. That one's lined up. Uh-huh. This one doesn't want to behave. Little assistance. I don't want to damage it. I don't want to poke holes through it. Well, started. Of course, this one falls out. Okay, right at this point, I'm debating whether this is actually going to go on on YouTube or not. Not every video could be easy. Sometimes you struggle. Not every repair is easy. Bet you that I should have changed that buffer. It just does not want to go in. Oh, finally. Now this one's out. Let's get that one back in. That popped right in. Okay, all our buffers are in. Let's get our plugs in there. 2. Where'd the third one? Did it go shooting off the table? There it is. 3. Yeah, awesome. Let's get our throttle back in there. Squeeze the trigger. Hook this end in its slot. Give her a little twist. There we go. Manually actuate the throttle. It's hard to get you guys in there, but it's a hook on the throttle rod that just kind of hooks into the base of the carburetor. That's functioning. Airbox. I'm going to start these by hand. I'm going to choke back down again. Start these by hand because they're kind of crooked. And I'll be tightening them up by hand. I won't use the driver. Okay. We're just going to use this to turn the extension. Get them snug down, nice and even, left and right. That's snug enough. Okay, that's that. That's that part of it anyways. Make sure your chain brake is on. This should slide under into its little spot there. We're just making sure all our linkage still works fine. And it does. Got our replacement chain and a bar. It's just a laminate bar. It's not a fancy one. I don't need fancy. I do, however, need to move that adjuster. I might, in the future, change this to the side adjuster. This one's got the adjuster screw in the front. And it's an easy replacement to put a side adjuster where you get it from here. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't cut wood, so it really doesn't matter. There, I backed off the adjuster enough to get that bar in there. Let's make sure our sprocket is all set. That's good. Side cover. I'm not going to clean it because I don't care. Nuts. Yeah, still debating whether this is actually going on the channel or not. Okay, it's rolling. Well, I'm just going to finger tighten those nuts so I can still adjust it. Still move the bar up and down. So, make sure your chain brake is off. Just rotate that chain a little bit. Lift the bar up, and we can set our tension. I'm going to set it where it's got about 3/8 of an inch. That chain will be tight and loose as it goes around. It feels snug there. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's hold that bar up, tighten those big bar nuts. Nice. Here we go. So now the next thing to do is put some oil in it, put some gas in it, fire it up, run it a little bit out in the yard, and then set it on a piece of clean cardboard, and that'll tell us if it continues to leak. So, well, it's going to get some because it's going to oil the chain and it'll run out of here. But if it's a constant flow of oil, you know that something ain't right under that oil line. All right. That's where we're at. Change that thing. It's pretty firm. Like, it's hardened up like old rubber. It's probably leaking out of here around that piece that just pushes in because that's extremely hard. All right. Well, thanks for joining me on this one, guys. New bar. Replacement chain. It's had one sharpening, but it's relatively new. New oil line. You watched me struggle with those buffers. You watched me forget the way you're supposed to actually take the thing apart. But we got it figured out, like usual. Once again, thank you, and until the next video, take care.